Charlie Strong is a great coach.
Look what he did.
Put him below Jim.
Did I ever say that Charlie Strong was a bad coach?
No, you put him as a second-class coach.
I'm saying that the Texas Longhorns have the right to be very disappointed right now, considering the other candidates.
Okay, let's stop.
The other candidates were good, but they were not by any means. I don't think they were better.
Charlie Strong is better than Nick Saban. If I told you,
not better than Nick Saban.
I think he's on the same level as Jim Mora.
I
think he's on the same level.
Charlie Strong is honestly, I think Charlie Strong's a better hire than if they tried to pick Jim Mora.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Right there. Jim Moore is the best thing that happened to
guys, Jake, Carl, Jake.
Recruiter. You want to talk about rejuvenating a program? You look right at Jim Moore. You come to a UCLA football game.
Carl, you should not have said that.
Bash Jim Moore to a UCLA football fan.
This will never end now.
I will slander Chip Kelly.
This will never end. Okay.
No. You want to talk about Chip Kelly now, do you?
Oh, my God, Jake, no.
Coach, 4 years...
We apologize for this anger.
I'm not going to slander Chip Kelly because he's a great coach that has earned my respect, as well as Jim Mora, something that you clearly did not understand. But even comparing Jim Mora and Charles Strong, let's just move on. Because clearly we're never going to get this resolved.
Guys, no. Shh. Both of you, shh. I'm not even going to say anything because I don't want this conversation to continue. But we are going to go to another team that me and Jake are both fans of. It will be the late game, or kind of the late game of Sunday. It's still relatively early. That is the Niners and the Packers again. Second straight year in the playoffs. Fourth time in the past 3 years. Too many times in my opinion, but they are playing again. So, Jake, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
First of all, can we just talk about the weather? I'm doing this one for Carl as an apology for even threatening to say something bad about Chip Kelly.
Because
Thank you. I'm going to obey. Well, I do not think weather has a huge effect on games. When it's the temperatures in Green Bay, that's when the no pun intended clouds start to fade. When it comes to this game, oh boy, the Sunday forecast, according to AccuWeather.com, the game starts 3:45 Central Time, so they have hourly forecast. At 4 p.m., they believe that it's going to be -2 degrees, with a real feel, but basically it's going to be like -25 degrees. It will drop to -7 at 7 p.m. It will feel as cold as -30 degrees. It is truly going to be a frozen tundra. So much so, as a matter of fact, that the Green Bay Packers are going to be handing out complimentary hot chocolate and coffee.
Well, isn't that sweet?
Yeah, and I only love Los Angeles even more. I'll be sitting in the den. I would to the game though. Maybe I would have been. That might be a death sentence.
You were lobbying to go to the game.
I was lobbying to go to the game. I will not lie. I would do it.
Wear 17 layers. 17.
There's a first time for everything, my friend. I've got enough layers. I would find a way. But beside the point. It's gonna be cold. That'll add an extra element to the game. Anybody who does not wear sleeves to prove toughness is an idiot.
Oh,
listen,
totally.
They're not tough. The only thing that would be thick by not wearing sleeves, not be your skin.
Don't wear skin. Don't wear skin to the game. Just
be comfortable in your own skin. This show has nothing to do with Dove and Plus. Okay. Don't worry, no one's paying us to do this, so they can't sue us. I don't think.
Over under 1 concussion in this game because of how hard the turf is. I'm saying over. I'm going to say 2 concussions.
I'm not going to play over under. By the way, Vince Lombardi installed a heating system under the Lambeau Field. Maybe the field will be quite toasty.
Wait, did you say Vince Lombardi installed it?
Yes, he did.
Did he personally go into the field and start screwing in heaters or something? I'm just asking.
I don't think he personally. He asked for it. Chip Kelly did not actually And no, I got nothing. I was gonna make.
Don't. You can't attack Chip because I can attack back harder.
I'm not gonna say. Shh, Carl. It's okay. I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay.
The Packers defense. Listen, I love Green Bay. This has been the most painful 3 weeks of football in my life. I am not a religious person, but God.
Wait, how are you not a religious person, Jake?
I don't consider myself to be a very religious person.
Okay, you just missed a show for Jewish holiday.
Because it was the holiest day of the year now. Come on, that's like saying, you're not American.
I would miss a show for
You're not very
Christmas
patriotic because you didn't want to do a show on the 4th of July. I mean,
do a show on the 4th of July. Does anybody want to, hold me to that? Because I will.
Would you do a show on Christmas Day?
I would do a show, actually, well, on the day I would. Yeah, I do a show on Christmas Day, and I am Christian, so, you know.
Okay. If it was
whatever God you
okay,
believe
let's stop
in,
arguing about Jake's religion.
Whatever God you believe in, the football gods have proven that they existed in the way that the last month of football or so has.
Jake, it's just my juju. Just accept it.
The way the Packers games have been played out, it's unbelievable. They're looking like the team of destiny, but just like Destiny's Child, it's going to break up. Listen, the Packers' defense is not going to cut it. You're not going to have anyone pulling a Raheem Morris like Conti. You're not going to have a just spectacular catastrophe falling apart like the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, and by the way, they lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers is going to be great. Colin Kaepernick is going to be good. But the Niners' defense is going to be better. The Niners can dominate on the line on both sides. I hope more than anything that I am wrong. It would make me nothing happier. Nothing would make me happier than to put my foot in my mouth after this game. But if the Packers are to lose, at least give Harbaugh Coughlin face back from the NFC Championship game. That'd be fantastic. I just think that the Packers are too weak on defense. I've learned my lesson, and I have to stick to it. Defense wins championships. And while this might just be a shootout, the Packers don't actually seem to have the greatest track record of wild card shootouts. You might want to think of Arizona beating Green Bay 15-45 in overtime from Rodgers' first playoff start. Rodgers is great. The offense is great. San Francisco, I just think, is a little bit better. Niners 42, Packers 38.
Yeah, San Fran is a great team, and they've played. The only losses, of course, have come against good teams. One of them coming against New Orleans, but you know what? And this has to do with a little bit of bias, and not only that, but I dislike San Fran, but I do have things to back it up. As long as Green Bay has Rodgers, and I know everybody says this, they have a shot. Now that they have a running game, gives them a better shot. Not to mention that over the past couple of weeks, like you said, it's been painful, but it has been magical. And Destiny, and I like Destiny. That's why I picked Auburn. I like the Destiny factor. Not to mention, it's very cold, and despite San Francisco being a team that probably won't be affected that much, it always has a slight impact, not much, and not enough to really decide a game, in my opinion, unless it's ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's ridiculous enough, especially when how San Francisco plays. They like to get down and dirty. They like to get down and dirty.
Well, they'll certainly get dirty. If they want to get down and dirty, is the place to do it if you want to play football down and dirty.
Yeah.
Go to Green Bay in January.
I'm going with eventually. Look, they've lost the past 3 times they've played them. Eventually, Green Bay is going to break through. Eventually, and
eventually they have to get a good defense.
Yeah, eventually. I mean, look, they're going to beat them eventually. It might not be this game, but I'm going to say they're going to win this game. I think this is going to be their breakthrough. I think a combination of Lacey and Rodgers. Look, the first game they shut down Lacey, but that was a different time. Rodgers was skeptical of Lacey back then. He's admitted to it. Lacey was playing his first game. Lacey is now an established running back, which means you now need to worry about him. That game was close, and that was without Lacey doing much. Now you put him into the mix. That is a dangerous combination, and for that reason, and I expect that there will need to be a little bit more magic, I'm going to go with the Packers here at Lambeau to move on to the next round.
No, can I just ask you a question? I don't mean to rain on your parade because, by default, that would be raining on my own parade as well. When's the last time you didn't pick the Packers to win?
I'm not picking them for next round. I'm not picking them for next round at all. And, look, the last time I didn't pick the Packers to win.
You picked them to beat Detroit, in Detroit, on Thanksgiving. Carl should get a pick now.
Okay, really quickly. Carl,
I'm not...
I just want to say, I know what?
Better coach than Charlie Strong.
No, you know why you won't be picking them next week? Is because you won't have a chance to pick them.
I will.
All right. First off, I would like to say, San Francisco wild card team here. They are 12-4 compared to Green Bay 8-7-1. San Francisco, their only losses, 2 early season losses to Seattle and Indiana, and then by a total margin of 4 points in week 10 and 11 to Carolina and New Orleans. Since then, they have rattled off 6 straight wins, and Colin Kaepernick Colin Kaepernick keeps getting better. Early in the season, Colin Kaepernick was not playing at a high level, but since then, he has significantly increased in his playing ability. And look, this is not a great passing attack by any means. 30th in the league in passing yards, only 186 yards per game, but they are 3rd in rushing yards, and that's coming from multiple different sources, with Gore and Kaepernick both chipping in. Plus, if you're in there, LaMichael James getting in. It's not a one-headed rushing attack. Then you have just their defense. San Francisco's defense, beautiful, 7th in passing yards allowed, 4th in rushing yards, in all sorts of things. And then we go to, I think by now you guys realize my favorite stat. He's 12 over in turnover margin, 30 takeaways, only 8 giveaways. Then you got, and I will say that some of these stats are loaded for Green Bay, but they have 28 giveaways. That does include 17 picks, and I admit that's a little high. But they're yeah, I mean they're high up there, but they are still -3. That is 15 difference. That's not all off Scott Tolzien. That's not all Seneca. This is a question.
How many picks have the Packers safeties got this year?
I could not tell you. That would take further research.
Take a guess.
I will guess that the Packers safeties, given that there have been 11 interceptions by Green Bay, I will guess the Packers safeties have a whopping 2 interceptions.
How about 0? The Packers.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be low.
A single pick this year. You have to hold on to the ball. And even last year, by the way, the opening possession for San Francisco was pick 6, in which Green Bay scored 6, obviously, and they still lost.
They scored 9.
Shh.
Look, San Francisco, you're right. They have a lot of sources of attack, but if there's a team that knows that, it is definitely Green Bay. And you can put a infinite amount of money on the fact that Green Bay will have a spy in this game. If they don't, for sure. There is something wrong with them.
Dom Capers should be fired on the spot.
But the thing is,
and then thrown and then thrown to the stadium.
But if they have a spy on Kaepernick, that's just one less man in coverage.
I understand that's one less man in coverage.
That's one more weakness that Kaepernick can attack.
I understand Kaepernick had a great game week 1, but if there is a way I want the Niners to beat me, it is passing the ball. I will put my money on passing over running any day with that team. Any day I'll say
they have not been that impressive. But I think that their passing offense, when it needs to step up, especially when there's one less man in the coverage, and with a set of safeties that just doesn't, one, can't pick a ball, and 2, I don't think they've got the strongest safeties.
Yeah.
I think that Kaepernick will be able to pick apart that defense. I truly do.
Look, honestly, between these two teams, there is no doubt in my mind it will be a good game. They have had great games. Even the playoff game for much of that game was an entertaining game up until the last quarter, basically. And the regular season games have been just as entertaining